All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash from Tru Inferno, and I am picking up where I left off from last week, which is my countdown list, my top 10 Power Ranger shows. So with that said, let's get into it, starting with number 5, Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm, I really like Ninja Storm because this is like basically a family feud of sorts here. So you got the main villain and the main sensei for the Rangers, who are brothers, and the senseis have a son, meaning he's going off against his own uncle. Now the goofy part is the main villain transformed his brother into a freaking hamster. So I'm like, and you know, he stays a hamster to the end of the show. I'm like, really, a hamster? Like what? Like he couldn't, I don't know, like trap him in another dimension where he could still come. I mean something, but a hamster? Like, yeah, that was stupid. That was stupid as heck. But I did like the fact that the original 3 Rangers, the red, yellow, and blue Ranger, the blue Ranger was a female, who happened to be one of the cutest female Rangers ever, had to go off against these 2 other Rangers who sided with the main villain, like Crimson and a darker blue Ranger or whatever. And then, of course, the sensei's son became the Green Ranger, and the Green Ranger was dope because that he had that samurai mode as well, and the Zords was amazing in this show. They all can like fuse together into one's Ultra Zord, which was dope as heck. The Red Ranger had a Battleizer, which was really dope as heck. It was really good. Like the story was pretty cool for the most part. Unfortunately, they didn't do a Power Ranger team up, which would have been with Raw Force. But again, I really like Ninja Storm. That's why I got it number 5 on my list. Number 4, Space. Now, Space was originally supposed to be the last one out of all the Power Ranger shows. Space was supposed to be the last one because it continued on from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers all the way up to Space. And in this case, going off of Turbo, which was like, and even though Turbo was a bad show, I like how it ended because the Rangers, they really got their butts handed to them. Their command center got destroyed, and it seemed like the main villain from Turbo was going to win. And well, actually, she did win, and she was about to take over the planet, but then her boss was like, screw that crap, we need you at this meeting or whatever. And then because we captured Zordon and things of that nature, then we get into Space, where 4 out of the 5 Rangers from Turbo joined up with this Red Ranger from Space, and bing, bam, boom. There you go. They got the 6th Ranger, who is, I think, the Silver Ranger, and there you go. Going off against not 1, but 3 main villains, because you got the big boss, and then you got this other cat who have like 9 lives, who trying to, you know, work behind the big boss back to eliminate him so he can be the big boss and things of that nature. And then you have the 3rd main villain, who is the Red Ranger's younger sister, who was kidnapped and brainwashed to be evil. And 2 out of the 3 main villains took each other out, leaving her to be the sole antagonist of the show. And that was pretty dope as heck. The backstory between how they were related, dope as heck. The fact that Zordon sacrificed himself rather to save the universe was dope as heck. And ladies and gentlemen, the Psycho Rangers. The Psycho Rangers are the most badass thing in Power Rangers history. I'm sorry, you talk about the original, the Psycho Rangers, dog. The Psycho Rangers were lit as heck, dog. I'm sorry. Now, with all this going on for Space, and then the first ever Battleizer took place here. Now, all this going on with Space, you're probably thinking, why is it not number 1 or in the top 3? They teamed up with freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And not just the, you know, the original 4. We talk about the one that had the female turtle in it. I'm like, what? No. Because when I first saw it, I'm like, who is this turtle? Like, what? Like, I didn't even know about this one. Then years later, I saw the show. Saw one episode, like 10 minutes into it, I'm like, I can't watch this. There's no way. I can't stomach this crap. And so, that messed it up for me. But the fact, again, the Psycho Rangers, the very first Battleizer, Zordon sacrificing himself, 3 main villains. It was crazy. And this was a bit dark. And also, this was the first time where the regular people, the general public, realized who the Power Rangers are. Because normally, that's a secret. But not in this case. So, that was dope as well, man. And now let's get into my top 3. Number 3, SPD. Now SPD took place in the future, so we got another but this time I'm gonna say another time traveling joint, because they never go back to the past with the exception of the Power Ranger crossover that they did. More on that in a second. But this one was kind of deep and dark as hell, because really there's two main villains in this one. And this one was pretty cool because you talk about basically a police force, the B Squad, working together, trying to get along with each other for one. And there's so many different elements with SPD. That's why I love that show. It was so much going on, but it all made sense. It wasn't cluttered on anything, and it was still pretty cool. Now, again, there was a few downsides to it. Like, for example, the Cat Ranger. Like, let me set the stage here. So you got the 5. You know, if memory serves me correctly, you got the Red Ranger, who is again black. So yeah, that's cool right there. You got the Blue Ranger, the Yellow Ranger, the Pink Ranger, and you got the Green Ranger. And then that commander became the Shadow Ranger. Okay, that's cool. He was pretty dope. But then you got this another Ranger from the further future who came back in that time frame, and he was the Omega Ranger. So now I'm like, okay, they're getting out of control with all these Rangers. And now they got 7 Rangers. And then for one episode, the commander's assistant became the Cat Ranger. I'm like, and her name just happened to be Cat, who happened to be like a cat-human hybrid. And I'm like, y'all getting out of hand with this crap. Like, there's too many Rangers. And then another downer was, yes, they had Battleizer on the show, but it was only used twice. And one of them was just by the Red Ranger. The other one was by the Blue Ranger. After that, they abandoned it because of SWAT mode. And I will admit, SWAT mode was dope as heck. Not to mention the SWAT Megazord, though, we can transform to a freaking gun? Like, are you serious? That was pretty dope. And then they did not one but 2 Power Ranger team-ups with Dino Thunder. So in that case, they brought the 3 original Dino Thunder Rangers to the future. And then the second one, and this wasn't a 2-part episode or anything. And then the second team-up, they went back to the past, aka our present time, and teamed up with all 5 Dino Thunder Rangers. Unfortunately, they could not get Tommy in that episode, so they just got some guy in the black Dino Thunder outfit, gave him a Tommy wannabe voice or whatever. But outside from that, SPD was really good. I like how it ended, so yeah, there you go with that. Number 2, Mighty Morphin. Now, you're probably shocked, like, Mighty Morphin number 2? Well, hear me out. I'll get more on that in a second. Mighty Morphin obviously was the one that started it all. That was the one, that got me falling in love with Power Rangers to begin with. Like, when I was in, how old was I? 3rd grade, maybe 4th grade, I don't know. And we had recess, guess what me and the crew would do? Pretend to be Power Rangers. It was simple. And, the original show, like, yeah, it was corny with the whole, positive message thing and things of that nature, but it was still dope as heck, dog. It was still dope as heck. So, yeah. And then again, they had 3 seasons, so they made a lot of changes, and they introduced the finest female Ranger of all time, Aisa, the 2nd Yellow Ranger, who fine as heck, dog. She was fine as heck. Not to mention, we got Tommy being introduced as the evil Green Ranger, which was dope as heck. A 5-part episode. You can't beat that. Like, that was really dope. And then the Zords. Come on now. I mean, you got talk about the original Megazord, the Dragozord, and then Titanus. All 3 of them formed the Ultra Zord. And then they introduced Lord Zed in the piece, dog. I'm like, yo, season 2 Lord Zed was dark as heck. But then season 3 Lord Zed was like, and, it was more like a comedy routine instead of serious. And by the time with season 3, they became ninjas. More changes were made to the group. They got rid of Kimberly and brought in Cat. Not Cat from SPD. So yeah, there you go, a different Cat. So yeah, they made some changes or whatever. And then how it ended, they basically went on to Alien Rangers. But yeah, it was too much going on near the end of season 3. But season 1, season 2 was lit as heck. So yeah, there you go with that. Now, let me get to my number 1, Power Rangers Zeo. Now, Zeo to me was my all-time favorite. Zeo took place really after Mighty Morphin, that Alien Ranger fiasco. And the reason why I like Zeo was because Zeo had the best stories out of all the Power Rangers shows. Like I said, SPD with that SWAT Megazord who could transform to a gun. Mighty Morphin with, the Megazord, the Dragozord, Titanus. Ninja Storm with their Zords, you know. But the one that did it for me, Zeo. Zeo had the best Zords ever, dog. Oh my gosh, their Zords was crazy lit. And then they had the Gold Ranger. Now, really, the Gold Ranger was some dude from another planet who had to give up his power, otherwise he'd be lost forever. So who did he give up his powers to? Jason, the original Red Ranger. They brought him back. I'm like, yo, it's really lit. Unfortunately, Billy couldn't be the Blue Ranger because little did I knew at the time, there was some issues going on behind the scenes, and then he left the show and all that stuff. And unfortunately, yeah, they got rid of Aisha and brought in another this black chick from Africa or whatever, and she was nowhere near as cute as Aisha. But Zeo, and then the main villain, you know, which was like the Machine Empire, they was like, even though it was a family that was led in the way, but the head of the family, like, he was no nonsense. That's what I'm talking about with regarding the villain. Yeah, when they brought in Lord Zed, he was no nonsense, but then he became this comedy act or whatever. But this dude, he stayed true to his villainous throughout the whole show. And it was pretty dope. I didn't like how they got rid of him and the family, though. I didn't like how they got rid of the family like that. That was dumb as heck, in my opinion. But Zeo, to me, #1, without question. So, yeah, there's my list right there. All right. So, with that out the way, let me get on with the NBA Finals now, where I was slightly off here. Well, Golden State did make it, yeah. And Toronto did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but I thought they were going to make it to the Finals, and I thought the Spurs were going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, neither one would happen, and we got the rematch from a season ago, but I'm still rolling with Golden State. I got Golden State winning the Finals in 7 games. But yeah, man, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and see y'all next time. Yeah. All these enemies by himself with the Chrono Ranger down or whatever, he's going to take them all on by himself. And even though he saved the day and basically saved the world, aka the future, he died in the process. So once the Rangers from the future learned about that, they went back to the past and helped him out and obviously prevent him from dying and still saved the day. That part alone made it dark because he was supposed to die and they won against 1 million. Like, that's dope right there, dog.